Dear Kismet helps you dive into the mysteries behind cardology, or the astrology and numerology of the playing cards. We answer questions from our tribe and discuss world events and celebrities, all through the lens of this magical, ancient system. Our goal? To help you align with what is written in your cards and to raise the collective consciousness of the planet. If you go to our website, itiskismet.com, and enter your birthday, you'll get to your card's one-stop shop where you will find a 15-page report on your card and much, much more. You can also go to our site to find the cosmic connections, also known as the planetary energies, between you and another person. Now is the time for cardology to become as encoded in the collective energy as astrology and numerology are. So please tell your friends about Kismet. Okay, hey everybody, my name is Laura and I'm here for another episode of Dear Kismet with my two co-hosts, and we'll say hi to them.
Hi everybody.
Hey everybody.
That's Paula and Candy, and before we get started, if you're new to us, if this is your first time ever watching a video, just know you can go to our website, itiskismet.com, and you can look up your card and you can look up a whole bunch of other stuff on your one-stop shop when you get to that page. And then you can also look up the relationship that you have between you and another person. So today we're actually just talking about one person, so we're not going to be diving too much into the relationship stuff, but there are a lot of other videos out there that we have that are on relationships, like with Brangelina and Beyonce and Jay-Z and Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow. So we are going to let Candy kick it off, and she is going to tell us about Russell Simmons. That's who we've chosen to talk about today.
If you're anything like me, Russell Simmons is a name you've heard of and might even be someone you grew up influenced by without really knowing it. You know he's a celebrity, but you don't really know why you know he's a celebrity or what he's done. And you might even think he had something to do with Run DMC, right? Well, you're kind of close. So Russell Simmons is an entrepreneur, producer, author, and activist. He co-founded the hip-hop music label Def Jam Recordings, which launched careers like Public Enemy, Curtis Blow, Slick Rick, and LL Cool J, just to name a few. I mean, if we're name dropping. So now it's starting to come together, right? So if that's not enough, the creator of several clothing lines, including Fat Farm, which if you're kind of in the same age as me, you'll remember those big color blocking sweatshirts that all the cool dudes wore. And wait for it, here's the big drop, his brother of Run DMC. There's the connection. And Rev Run is the star of MTV's Run's House. So now you can start to put faces with TV shows. He created HBO's Def Poetry Jam and Def Comedy Jam, which, little newsflash, is coming back to HBO in December of 2017, and we will be called the All Def Comedy. And he also co-produced The Nutty Professor. So it's like he had his hands in everything that I remember watching or being interested in as I was growing up. So hearing all of that may paint a picture of this entertainment entrepreneur, but Simmons has a lot more depth to him, which is why we're talking about him today. He's been a vegan since 1999, which is way before it was a cool thing to do. Beyond the health benefits of being vegan, he promotes it as part of his yoga practice, the ahimsa, or nonviolence to animals, and he's been recognized by PETA with the 2001 Humanitarian Award and a 2011 Person of the Year Award. So he's got some great philanthropy going as well. He's got 6 books he authored, offering insight into his growth and trajectory of his life path. Like his first book in 2002 was Life and Death, Sex, Drugs, and God. And then his latest book in 2015 is The Happy Vegan. So we can kind of see how he started in music and now he's progressed into being a little bit more health and holistic oriented. So in addition to being a vegan author, yogi that supports animal rights, Simmons is an activist for human rights. He advocates on everything from changing drug laws that unfairly target the incarceration of Black Americans to participating in the Occupy Wall Street movement to supporting gay rights and marriage equality. I mean, he is seriously all about equality at every level, no matter what is making you quote unquote different in someone else's eyes. He calls himself a Christian yogi and practices transcendental meditation. And most recently, Simmons found his way back into the headlines by criticizing President Trump for his response to the turmoil and tragedy in Charlottesville. All that, my friends, is why we know Russell Simmons, and it's what we know him for doing. So let's take a look and learn a little bit more about the man behind the action by digging into his cards. So Laura, tell us what his cards say.
His birthday is October 4th, 1957. And I'm really glad that Candy was able to give us that introduction because she just spewed a lot of stuff that I didn't know. And it all is making sense now knowing what cards he has. So it's kind of funny with this video in particular, Candy went into all this research about Russell Simmons, and then Paul and I are going to kind of like talk about the cards a little bit. And it's sort of like on the two sides of this, neither one of us know the other side very well. So Paul and I don't know Russell Simmons very well, and Candy is new to studying the cards. So we're going to see how these stack up with who he is and what he's doing with his life. So his two cards are the Five of Diamonds. That is his sun card or his birth card. So you can look that up on our website. It is kismet.com if you want to know yours. And we call that card the self-sacrificing adventurer. And then Paul is going to explain what the Five of Diamonds means in just a minute. And his second card, because of him being the Libra, is the Jack of Clubs. So that is because that's a long story, but basically you have a whole hand with your card, and depending on what your sun sign is, your secondary card is based on your sun sign. So you can see that again if you look up your birthday on our website. But real quick, some celebrities that have a shared combo, so they would also have these exact same two cards, the Five of Diamonds along with the Jack of Clubs. We have Susan Sarandon, Mark Zuckerberg, Kate Blanchett, Jill Stein, and then another Five of Diamonds person is Dustin Hoffman, and some just Jack of Clubs people that kind of jumped out at us were Oprah Winfrey and Keanu Reeves. So that's kind of like who he's hanging out with, and you can kind of see some of this activist stuff and some of the things that those people are doing. Okay, so Paula's going to tell us about the Five of Diamonds and the Jack of Clubs.
Okay, thank you. So I'm starting to connect the dots a little bit as I'm looking at the descriptions of the Five of Diamonds. So the first thing I want to say is that the card that sits under the Five of Diamonds, or what we would call the Karma card, is the Nine of Diamonds, which is also Barack Obama's card. And the Nine of Diamonds is called the card of universal values, meaning everybody's value system is important. Everybody is valued. So we see a really strong theme of that. And then that Nine of Diamonds shows up again in their hand, in their Mars position. And the way I look at this is that they take this past life of experiencing universal values and they plug it into their career, into their Mars position. And so they become promoters of other people and raising awareness about values, about how everybody and everything is valued. And the Five of Diamonds itself is a card that is probably more hungry and thirsty than any of the other fives for a variety of experience. So that's why he's got his fingers in a lot of different pies, and he expresses in the world the way we see him visibly is there's a lot of service and promotion going on, but you can be assured that he's probably personally into a lot of different things. He's probably really well traveled. They're fun, funny, capable people in a huge variety of ways. They're capable of administration. They tend to be pretty humble because they start out in the Saturn line with a highly sensitive moon card, which means they're going to have a rough go in early childhood. And if they're to transcend that, it means they really wake up in a lot of ways, especially to their own heart and who they are. And the Jack of Clubs adds a tremendous sense of humor. And this is true for anyone who is a Five of Diamonds, because that's their Venus card and it's how they relate to other people. But
okay, so the card, yeah, so kind of Paula was giving me the information I wanted earlier but didn't ask about, which is because he's Libra is ruled by Venus, so his secondary card is the Venus card in his hand, which is the Jack of Clubs. Correct?
Right.
Okay, you can go on.
Okay, so his planetary ruler, the Jack of Clubs, brings in, as I see it, kind of a, I probably shouldn't use the word lubricant.
So right ahead.
The Jack of Clubs is the social lubricant. Sorry, I had to use that word. It just works. Jacks are very approachable. They're lighthearted. This is the funniest and the wittiest and the most clever of all the Jacks. And it's an adolescent energy, but he only has to wear that when he's interacting. But the diamond is more of an adult vibration and a business-oriented thing. So the club just really allows him to engage with people in an ordinary human way. So other Jack of Clubs are Oprah Winfrey and Keanu Reeves and Pharrell Williams. And those three have really been consciousness paradigm shifters, or you could call them cultural creatives. And they introduce a whole new approach or a way of thinking or a consciousness. And so what a dynamic combination he's got to do everything that he's done. I've actually never heard of this guy, but I've heard of a lot of this other stuff, and I'm just really impressed how he has really made use of his hand. That's how I would think of it.
Yeah, and I didn't say this earlier, but I wanted to because I forgot to write it down. But the Jack of Clubs we call the amusing romantic innovator. So we've covered amusing, we've kind of covered innovator, but what makes the Jack of Clubs romantic?
They are the intersection of Venus and Uranus, and Venus is about love, and Uranus is let's be unusual, let's be creative. And every Jack of Clubs I've ever dated, and oddly enough, I've dated a lot of them, they're really good lovers. They're really engaging,
Oh.
creative. They love the concept of love, and they tend to be, yeah, very inventive and imaginative and affectionate. They're relationship centered.
Really interesting because, as Laura said, I mean, I am learning about the cards, but I know basically this much. And everything Paula and Laura has said has fit perfectly with, of course, my understanding of Russell Simmons. I mean, it's not like we're best buds, we're not close or anything, but he does seem so approachable. And like if you saw him on the street, you could talk to him and there would be no air of personality or celebrity. In fact, Laura and I have a friend here in Indianapolis who him through social media somehow. Like he made a post. He's, by the way, if you don't follow him on Instagram, you should, because he is so inspiring. But he made a post and she actually corrected his post. It was something to do with yoga. And then through that, they struck up a friendship, and she's actually visited with him a couple times when she's gone out to LA. So he is just, yeah, like open, accepting, loving, welcoming, and this super amazing creative talent that promotes universal equality. I love it when everything fits like it always does with the cards.
I'm so glad
Yeah.
we're talking about him, because like what a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put him up on stage and say, "Yay, a good human being."
Yay, we need more.
Yeah. Okay, I could wrap it up here, but what I wanted to ask was, Paula, do you want to do a little reading for his year this year?
Sure, maybe he'll listen in.
He's 59 right now, so he obviously only has like a little over a month left of this year, and then he'll be 60.
So right now he is in his Neptune period, which is the very last 52-day period of his 59th year, and he has the King of Clubs. Now keep in mind he's the Jack of Clubs, and their great challenge is to grow up into a man and be really sure of themselves and overcome self-doubt. So the King of Clubs means he's being really challenged to stand his ground and know his truth, and he's probably really gracious about it, because sometimes people with a King of Clubs card will get really stubborn and arrogant, like they're right no matter what. But in a positive sense, it just engenders confidence, and it encourages you to uplift other people in their truth. He's got the Three of Hearts long range, so he's probably been pulled between two different things emotionally, maybe two people or just two things that he loves. And it's also a very social year, which is going to cause him to connect with a lot of new people. He's really been purpose finding this year. He's displacing, and his environment card are both sixes. So that's about what's my purpose, what's the plan, what's my mission, what am I here to do? And hopefully, Russell, you've been really nice to yourself this year. You have the self-critical Two of Clubs in Pluto, which means you're really looking at your internal conversation. So, and maybe you've gotten into some arguments lately. But the resolution is the Two of Diamonds, which is either a business partnership or a willingness to really get behind your own desire and your own business idea. So are you having another business idea? Because you, in your other hand, you've had the Ten of Clubs long range, which is a focus on career and having a really big voice. Maybe you've just increased your platform. And the Ten of Diamonds displacement means this is a great reward year for you in some way. You're gleaning a lot of harvest from all of your efforts. And you also may feel like you have been pulled in a lot of different directions. And they're telling me to just mention your Mercury period for next year. So in October, after your birthday, you have the Queen of Diamonds and the Four of Clubs. The Queen of Diamonds, her role is to give it to people straight. And so as in keeping with how you responded to Donald Trump, maybe that voice is rising up in you, and it's not so much about being personable and sociable, but really calling it like it is. Speak the truth, brother.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Paula. That was really insightful because, yeah, you were saying that, he's focused on his career. Well, as Candy was saying, they're relaunching, changing the name slightly, but they're relaunching Def Comedy Jam into All Def Comedy. And it seems like he's got that's coming this December. So he's already been, it's obvious to us. Sometimes some of the stuff people are working on is not obvious because it's not necessarily news making, but yeah, that fits.
Cool.
And we all sure could use a little bit more laughter some days.
Yeah.
Amen.
So thanks for bringing it back, Russell.
All right. And that's the end of our show. So if you enjoyed this, please share it with your friends and check out our next episodes. Get on our website, look up your card, look up your cosmic connections. Our website, it is kismet.com, and you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Dear Kismet. We would love it if you would subscribe and share. Go to our website, it is kismet.com, to learn more about the Cardology Conference in Vegas in October, to look up your card and cosmic connections, and to ask Dear Kismet a question.